From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Cairns. I'm the founder, CEO, and Chief Digital Strategist at Stunning Digital Marketing. Today I have Amber Gaige with me, and Amber and I are going to talk about the 4 C's of marketing. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. The SDM Show is brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, the digital marketing concierge that helps you put all your marketing pieces together. We are your marketing experts. We are also your WordPress security experts and know how to lock down a website and protect yourself from bad actors. So contact us at Stunning Digital Marketing today. Hey everybody, Rob Cairns here. On today's show, I have Amber Gaige with me, and we're going to talk about the 4 C's of marketing, a book she's done, lots of wisdom, and much more. How are you, Amber?
I'm blessed beyond measure, Rob. How are you today?
Doing great. And I didn't tell you we were talking before the show. If there's anything I like more, it's talking about people who have written books. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun
Yeah.
undertaking.
Yeah, I'm an avid reader. So my listeners know I'm like a book or 2 books a week guy. So, in my spare
Wow.
time that we all don't have, So
You are an avid reader. If you're reading that fast, that's a speed reader.
yeah, pretty well. Can you get into marketing? I always like to ask how you
I,
started.
yeah, I'm a third generation business owner. And so I grew up in a family business, and my mom is the one that got me into marketing. So I had to learn how to make the phone rings for our family's plumbing company back in the day. And
Hmm.
we had the privilege of being a part of a startup franchise. And so I got to learn about marketing on a local level and a national level. I then
Yep.
went on to create my first agency and sold that to private equity after 5 years. And now I love to do marketing based on analytics and data science and to help entrepreneurs to grow their business to the next level so they can achieve their dreams.
Yeah, and I would say to you, you hit on something really key there, analytics and data science. And the reason I think those are key is, I don't know about you, but I get calls from clients or prospective clients all the time. And I say, okay, what are your numbers? I don't know. And
Yeah.
I hear that so much out there. And I don't know. I just spend. And I said to that guy this week, I said, so why don't you just write me a blank check and put a number on it and send it to me? And we'll consider it done. He said, you're kidding. I said, actually, I'm not. I'm being dead serious
hmm
because that's what you're doing. If you don't know what your numbers are, you're just spending, right?
hmm That's exactly right. That's exactly right. If you don't know what's working, if you don't know um, where your target audience is and the best way to get your product or service in front of them, why are you putting money into it?
No, no question. Um, Marketing's changed a lot.
It has.
And we all know the digital universe has changed greatly. It's probably one of the fastest growing industries out there.
hmm
Um, Politics has infiltrated our industry, whether we like it or not. I don't want to turn this into a political show. I'm just putting it out there, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got clients in the political space, and that space is hard to market right now with all the new
It's,
rules that went in during the first Trump campaign. I mean,
yeah.
things got changed. I think rules got changed for the better, but it makes it harder. We've got some risque industries, things like cannabis, which in the US are state governed and not federally governed. In
hmm
Canada, that industry is federally governed. I'll tell you that now. It's a national law. But still hard to, I don't play in that space, but if you're a marketer in that space, it's hard to market.
hmm
Um, Certain other industries, for example, anything in the adult industry that's legal is hard to market. I can tell you that
hmm
for sure. Having a couple clients in that space,
hmm
and things like guns are hard to market. There's all kinds of stuff. And the
Hmm.
rules seem lately to be changing by the hour. Very true to that, or do you think I'm just kind of making it
No,
up?
I think you're right. I think as we see more government regulation, I think as we see more consumer-driven responses,
Yep.
marketers have to be on top of their game and aware of the liabilities. In the US, a huge change that's taken place is the privacy laws. And
Of
so if you
course.
don't have a privacy policy on your website, then you are potentially at risk for a $5,000 per offense. Um,
Hmm.
infraction. And so when we build websites, we have to partner with some software companies that make sure that the privacy policies are updated automatically on a website.
Yep. Yep.
ADA, cookies, personal content. I mean, it's just another example of how marketing is evolving.
Yeah, and by the way, everybody thinks of ADA or accessibility as part of the website. Well, I'll tell you, I did a contract 3 years ago, 4 years ago, a couple of days a week, and I was working for a public entity that
Hmm.
was an organization, and ADA even impacts their email marketing, believe it or not.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
and people don't think in that concept. And I redid how they did their email marketing because of ADA, because of provincial compliance. So
That's
that's a
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a big deal.
It is a big
I
deal.
and neither one of us are working in Europe, and Europe is the most, because of the EU, is the most heavily privacy area in the world, as far as I'm concerned. It's even worse.
Oh, yeah. So true. So many regulations going on there. Yeah.
Yep. Before we dive into the four C's, I was going to ask you, for you guys, for your agency, what works in marketing? Is it just web and pay per click, or is it kind of a gambit of everything depending on the client?
Yeah, so we are a strategically driven and
Yeah.
analytics-based agency for
Mhm.
self-employed individuals. We work with startups all the way up to million plus companies.
Yep.
But we are a full service white glove agency. So whether someone needs copy, they need strategy, they need website, they need graphic, we are a one-stop shop because we begin with the end in mind. We want to make sure that our clients' marketing is effective. And that means that
Yep.
we create a customized strategy for every client and then put the right mix of marketing tactics into that strategy for them and then
Mhm.
oversee the deployment on their behalf.
Yeah. And I would say, and this is just my opinion, the one thing that a lot of people think is so 15 years ago, and as far as I'm concerned, is more relevant today, is email marketing every day, all day to Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Email
thoughts on that?
marketing is seeing a massive resurgence right now, and I think it's due to the rising cost of media ads
Yep.
and the fact that most people are showing that if you will establish a rapport with them and a brand awareness, that they will, brand loyalty is not what it used to be. So if you are
Nope.
consistently in someone's email box, yeah, you've got a good chance of picking up their business for sure.
Now, what I should tell you is I'm a really bad marketer when I shop, as my brother says, because I'm not influenced very easily. So I am, and my partner Tez will tell you, I'm a creature of habit. So I tend to stick really close to what I like, and I don't get caught in it, which is interesting because that's what I do for a living, right? So,
That's right. That's right.
yeah. Um, four C's of marketing. Let's jump in.
Yeah.
What are
Let's jump
they,
in.
and
Yeah, so
what
the four
are?
C's of marketing are a process and a strategy that I
Mhm.
developed after 20 plus years in this industry,
Yep.
understanding that most people had the same general needs. And that when these components were missing in their marketing was largely ineffective. So in my book, the Far Beyond Marketing Guidebook, which is an international bestseller, including in Canada,
Awesome.
um, we line out the four C's of effective marketing so that whether you are doing your marketing yourself or you're marketing or you're working with an outsourced marketing partner, you have a guide to know what
Yep.
components of marketing are most important in order to help you get the most out of your marketing dollars.
Yeah, that's really important. I think the biggest problem is most people don't have a guide. Most
Yep.
people have gone to agencies, and we all know those agencies that are snake oil and will sell anything to make a buck, right? They don't care. All they care about is the potential customer writing that check at the end of the day saying, here, we'll give you 20 grand, we'll give you 30 grand. And then they wonder why their marketing is not successful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, they're not listening to their clients. They're not understanding that the operational goals of the business should inform the marketing, not the other way around.
Yep, it's so true. Um, did you want to talk? So you developed the 4 Ps, they're in your book. Did you want to talk about them at all? Or?
Yeah, I'll run you through them. Absolutely.
Sure, please.
The foundational C, the first C is clear copy. Knowing how to
Yep.
talk about your business in a way that people will shut up and listen. Knowing how to differentiate your business. Understanding how to tell your story in a way that you are showing your customers how, when they do business with you, they are directly benefited. So clear
Mhm.
copy is a foundational aspect for any business who wants to grow. And it's one of the most overlooked elements of marketing.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Copy is a problem. And
Yeah.
and in today's day, it shouldn't be a problem because there's some good copywriters out there.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to use a copywriter, there's a lot of good AI tools out there today. So I mean,
Sure.
I don't think, and I tell you, I look at websites and say, "What did you write this stuff? Why did you write this stuff?" And I just shake my head some days, right? Or
Yeah.
emails or anything else. It's like, I don't
You
know.
know what my pet peeve is, Rob, is when the copy doesn't
Well,
match the graphics. If you have a website that's about a dog and there's a picture of a cat on it, I'm like, did anyone look at
yeah.
this? But it's amazing how often that happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. What's the second C, Amber?
The second C is consistent branding, making sure that your
Hmm.
fonts, your colors, your logo, that it's clear, that it's clean, that it's appearing the same way everywhere, from your emails to your website to your business cards. Don't do variations. Make sure that it is consistent and make sure that it is so easily to interpret what you do that you don't have to explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And for those who don't know, one of the things Google looks for in search is consistency and in branding. It's been known for years that Google actually, on Google business pages, cares when it ranks, actually, Google business profiles now, excuse me,
Yep.
cares
Yep.
about the branding and the consistency. Is the phone number right between there and your website? Is the logo right between there and your website? Google
Right.
looks at things like consistency
Oh,
to impact where you sit in search.
hugely important. Hugely
Yeah,
important. Yes, consistency is key. And did you know you can do video on your Google business profile now? You can actually post
I
videos.
do. I do, which is kind of revolutionary. But
It
I mean,
is.
we are in a video world right now. I think to some
True.
degree, and I think for stuff like that, short videos works really good. People don't have the attention span always to watch a 30-minute video or a 40-minute
Yeah.
video. I hate
Right.
to tell you. I know.
Right.
Uh, what's the third C, Amber?
The third C is customer demographic, understanding who is buying from you and why, where they're
Yep.
located, where your branding
Yep.
needs to appear in order to attract the right customer to move the needle
Yep.
forward on the revenue of your business. So we do reverse depends on databases. We do customer demographic analysis. It's much more
Hmm.
than male, female, where they live, what products they're buying from you. It's also a psychographic. It's a motivating factor as to why they're buying from your brand versus another
Hmm.
brand. It's a huge aspect of making sure that your marketing is appearing in the right place at the right time.
Bingo. And that is so key. And I'll give you an example of that. We were social media. All marketers play a little bit on social media, whether we like to or not. And one of the things that's so key is people say, but my social media marketing's not working. And I always say, okay, and what's your customer profile? And where's your customer hanging out? And what are they spending? And what's their age demographic? And
Right.
they look at me and say, why does that matter? I should be able to just post. Well, guess what? Social media is no longer just Facebook and X/Twitter. There is so
That's right.
many microsites out there. So I'll give an example people can relate to. In Canada, there was a well-known sportscaster. He's now retired. And
Hmm.
he was the number one radio show in the country between 4 and 7.
Okay.
His demographic was males 20 to 60. That was his demographic. When he
Okay.
retired, he lost that that radio station lost that demographic. They lost the time slot totally. Actually, he didn't even retire. He was pushed out. He was making a couple $1 million a year, and somebody thought he was overpaid. Well, guess what, folks?
Okay.
And the end result was, because he knew the demographic, you would laugh on a sports show, kind of ads they were getting. Now, I've already told you his demographic was 20 to 60.
Right.
Believe it or not, one of the biggest categories was EDD ads for men on that sports show.
Okay.
Because we know males over 40, 45 start to go through that, and
Mm-hmm.
more so when they have medical conditions. So they picked up on that and things like that. And like, if you don't know your demographic, you don't know what kind of ads work, you don't know how they work, you don't know what times they work, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's exactly right. You've got to understand who is buying from you and why.
Yep. And if you don't understand that, I think you should pause your marketing and take the time to figure it out, to be truthful. I don't, because
100%. Do the work. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you're wasting money. You're wasting money actually if you don't do that. So,
Yes, you are.
um, what's the fourth C, Amber?
The fourth C is channel management. We're not in business just to rinse or just to turn them and burn them. What you want is to have a consistent sales funnel that allows you to consistently upsell and rinse and
Yep.
repeat and serve your clients very well again and again. This comes down to a sales funnel. This comes down to different calls to action. This comes down to your CRM. So your channel management and really defining where and how and when your marketing is appearing to the ideal customer demographic with consistent branding and a clear message is a huge component of sustaining your sales.
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you have the CRM you prefer?
Yeah, there's quite a few that I enjoy. We happen to be a Go High Level agency.
Yep.
So we use Go High Level on behalf of our clients a lot. We also have used Zoho in the past.
Yep.
I think it really does depend on what works best for the client and what their goals are. We also have many CRMs that will plug into our clients' industry-specific CRMs in order
Yep.
to
Yep.
provide them with the financial analysis of how much marketing is doing for them.
Yeah, and I think the key with CRMs is to be consistent on how you report the data into your CRM. I think that's so key. I've looked at enough CRMs over the years with clients, and they kind of say, my CRM's not doing what it should be doing. And then you look at your data, and it's what I call alphabet soup. And it's like
Yeah,
the old garbage into the system. Guess what? then
that's
you get
right.
then you get a mess, right? And I think
Yep.
it all comes back to the data, I think. So I think
Yep.
and
That's
I think it comes back to processes. I mean, I think what we have to acknowledge is that CRM is a tool, and if you run your processes are probably more important than the tool you're using. But
I agree. I agree. A tool is just a tool. If it's underutilized or not well utilized, then it's not going to serve its purpose either, right?
yep, I agree with you. Um, we sort of mentioned AI earlier, but it's worth mentioning again. How important is AI become to your agency, Amber?
I think AI is incredibly important, not only to my agency, but to marketing in general. It allows us to market smarter. It
Yep.
allows us to increase our efficiencies, streamline
Hmm.
our processes. It should never be a substitution for human strategy or oversight.
Agreed. Agreed.
But I do think that what we're able to do with AI is only going to continue to excuse me, I can say this word, expedite the marketing tactics that we're doing on behalf of our clients and be more effective.
Yep. And there's all kinds of business promotional uses for AI. Like, I don't know if I shared this with you, but one of the things I've been working on is I've been taking this podcast with, as of this record, is about 554 episodes. And
Hmm.
I've been breaking it down into a series of books. And I've been using
Oh,
AI to pull all the data for all the recordings to do the chapters in the book.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, I wish you well on that.
It's coming along quite nicely, actually. It's been an interesting thing, but you still need a human in the middle of it. You're right. There's things that AI can't spell, For
Yeah.
example, my last name is a taboo with AI. They like to spell it with a K and kill it every time. So you just got to kind of you need a human in the middle. I mean, AI is
Yes,
a tool. Like in the web world, a page builder is a tool, or like a marketing automation tool. It's the same idea. I don't think it gets rid of the marketer. I think what it does is change the job function of the marketer a little bit.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So if you were taking on a new client, say
Hmm.
you've got XYZ Acme Widget Company. There's a name from Wile E. Coyote and the Bugs Bunny crew. And you laugh
Such a
because you
good one.
understand the reference. Yeah. And
It's such a good
Mr.
one.
Yeah, and Mr. Coyote walks in to you and says, "Hey, Amber, I need to market my business." What's the first thing you say to a new client
Mhm.
that's not sure where they want to go?
Why do you want to market your business? What problems are you
Mhm.
having in your business right now?
Yep. And he
Yeah.
says, "Well, I'm not making enough money, Amber, and I've got a great product line where I've got 20 of variations." Help.
So then what I say is, tell me what you've tried in the past that's worked. Tell me what you're doing right now. Or tell me what you tried in the past that hasn't worked. Tell me what you're doing right now that is working. And let's figure out where the holes might be in your sales
Yep.
process. Because I can deliver leads. I can't sell them for you.
So I'll tell you, sometimes it's not the sales process. Sometimes it's the product too. So I'll give you an example of that.
Absolutely.
I'm doing some work right now, and I can't name the company, but if you know the business landscape, people figure it out.
Hmm.
Large plus size chain in Canada. And one of the problems is they had a sister company that used to sell high end stuff. And they're more like the casual stuff. And then they brought the high end stuff and said, marketed it by XYZ with the new company. And they were
Hmm.
trying to use the old branding. Guess what? It doesn't work because the
Yeah.
demographic that buys from that second company is not the same high class demographic that bought from the sister company that they closed. And they haven't figured out that their biggest problem right now is their product line, not their sales funnel in this case, because the product line is the big issue, not the sales.
Yeah.
And most people think of marketing as being all about the um, sales funnel. It's not always, right?
No, it's not. It really isn't. Half the time it's the connection between the sales funnel, the product, the service, the brand, and the demographic. That's why we talk so much about the synergistic relationship across the four C's. When one of those pieces is missing,
Mhm.
you're not going to have success in your marketing.
Yep. Yep. So it's so true. And we all know back in the day, the Sony beta and VHS fight before when videotapes were still there. And those who know video know the beta format was 10 times better, but Sony never marketed it very well. And if you don't market it well, it doesn't matter how good your product is, it might as well be running in a silo in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah, and frequently it does.
Yeah.
Frequently it does. And that's why we have what, an 85% attrition rate of businesses in the second year?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And they don't go through it. And then you look at the big powerhouses and the two battles I like to point to in the U.S. is McDonald's versus Burger King, right? There's
Yeah.
one that's been going on for years,
Yeah.
and the other is Coke versus Pepsi. That will never go
Ooh,
away.
that's never gonna change. There's always gonna be a rivalry for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But the common thing with all both those battles is all four are iconic brands, right? So you
Absolutely.
say those names and you get it.
Yeah.
Um, your book. How long did it take you to write the book?
Took me about a year to write it and about 6 months to edit it.
Oh wow. Did you self-edit or did you employ an editor?
I employed an editor. Hmm.
Smart. That's a good move.
Yep. Yep.
Did you self publish or did
We
you
did.
go to you self publish through Amazon CreateSpace or
We did. We self-published through Amazon, but then we also had a publicist and a publisher who
Mm.
walked us through the process of how to procure the international best-selling status. And that
Yep.
was a relationship that was fantastic.
Yeah. I have a good friend of mine. He's a retired journalist. He was writing back in the 60s, so he's been in the game a long time. And he's written 7 best-selling books, and every one has been self-published on Amazon.
Yeah.
I think I think unless you're a multi-million dollar publisher, Clancy, Grisham, Follett, and people like that, going to a publisher is not always the way to go, personally. But
I
that's
agree.
just my
I
view.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
Did
Yeah.
you do the book more to get the information out there or more as a lead gen for the business? I have to ask that question.
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely equal. I
Yep.
knew that I wanted to do more keynote speaking and more education. We also
Yep.
have a mastermind group that is based on the book, so that when people are ready to implement the things on their own, they can come and learn and be mentored by me and my team. We also have an online course that people can take. But of course, a book is a great lead generation tool. So, yeah, I would say it was about 50-50. And I found myself saying the same thing over and over and over again to every client that we met with. So, we
Yep.
wanted to have a system that was replicatable and easily to understand for our clients too.
And by the way, that's the key if you're running an agency is find a system you can replicate, rinse and repeat and go over and over again, especially if it's successful. And
Right.
that's how as an agency you make money, to be frank. Like,
That's right. That's right.
yeah,
Got to watch those
yeah.
margins.
Yeah. How big's your team member?
We have about 16 team members now.
Okay. Are you mostly in the US or are you kind of spread all over the place?
We are mainly in the US. We do have a little bit of offshore talent, but our company leadership is all based out of Texas.
Oh, that's cool. If you had to do it over again, would you?
Absolutely. I love it. I love what I do. It's been such a
Yeah,
great journey.
I think when you get to the point where you and I are at, you just kind of like the journey, you like what you do. Hopefully, you have supported people around you. That's the important thing. I know I was married to somebody for 3 years who had no support for what I did, and it made it, despite the fact I was bringing in money left, right, and center, had
Yep.
no support for
Yep.
what,
Been there too.
and that makes it hard. It makes it
It
really
does.
hard.
Those first marriages are tough, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, but that's
Yep.
okay.
Been there. Been there, done that.
Yeah. And then just find some supportive people, whether it's business colleagues, friends, partner, however you decide to do it. Right.
Well, I'll
So
tell you what, my team is incredibly supportive. I have a rule of hiring people that are smarter than
good.
me, better than
I love
me.
that rule.
And I'll tell you, we just have, in my opinion, the best team in the world. We just
Yeah.
have collaboration, transparency, respect, talent. And I tell my team, come to our meetings every day, willing to collaborate, willing to be honest, and put everything on the table because we're here to work hard. We're here to outserve each other and our clients.
Yeah.
And there's not a topic that's off limits. As a
Yeah.
team, we have to be highly collaborative. So I love coming to work
Yep.
every day with my people.
Yeah. That's awesome. Um, Thanks for sharing your time, Amber. I really appreciate it. I think some people will get a lot out of it. Go buy Amber's book, number one. So you read it.
Thank you.
If somebody wants to find out more about your agency, what's your website? What's the best way?
Yeah. Visit us at farbeyondmarketing.com. You can find us on all the social media platforms as well. And you can send an email to project management at Far Beyond Marketing.
Hey, thanks, Amber. Really appreciate your time. Have yourself a wonderful day.
You too, Rob. Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
You're welcome. My pleasure. This podcast has been brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, your digital marketing concierge to help the business owner put all his pieces together, whether it's email marketing, WordPress security, WordPress design and development, PPC, and more. Text Stunning Digital Marketing for all your digital marketing needs today. A very special thank you to Amber for joining me on this edition of the SDM Show. The SDM Show It's dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much every day. My mother, Ann Cairns, who's still doing really well and is an inspiration. And of course, Tiz Maroney. And Tiz, I know I've said it, but thank you so much for all the inspiration you give me every day.